colleagues, ministers, and thank you, Minister Mthembu. We meet again to discuss the same subject of COVID-19 and how to prevent its spread and how to try and flatten the curve. You'll recall that when the President spoke last week, he pointed out that at midnight, it will be exactly 3 weeks since our country entered into the unprecedented nationwide lockdown to contain the spread of the virus. He outlined the measures we have to take, as well as the changes that we have each had to make in our own behavior, and that together we have definitely slowed the spread of the virus. So today we are not coming up with many new regulations. We are extending the regulations that exist, that we are using today, but because the lockdown has been extended, we are extending those regulations. We will announce a few amendments to those regulations, and that's what we are going to talk about now. But I also want to explain that when we do stop the lockdown, we cannot do it abruptly, that today it's complete lockdown, tomorrow it's open completely. So we have to phase in so that there is an orderly move towards what would be a normality. But also to explain that there are measures that will remain beyond the lockdown. Because if you recall, there were measures that were in place even before the lockdown. So it doesn't mean that after the lockdown, everything will go back to normal. There will be measures that will remain beyond the lockdown. But for today, we'll just explain some of the changes that we're making in the regulations that are now being extended. I'll start with the issues of transport. In the amendments, we are stressing the issue of the prohibition of transportation of liquor. The only alcohol that is allowed to be transported is the one that is used for commercial purposes, for our sanitizers and the related issues. But liquor that we drink is not allowed to be exported in the same way that it's not allowed to be sold. So that's what we're adding, and we are saying at the ports, before we were saying that all goods that come from high-risk areas must be sanitized. But this time, because we've been learning about this disease, we've now learned that actually if the goods have been at sea for many days, the virus will not survive. So there is no need at the ports for the goods that have been at sea for a long time to be sanitized, because the virus would have died. The other issue is that as we get ready for lifting the lockdown in an orderly, incremental manner, we have agreed that we must start decongesting the ports. So items that are already at the ports for export must start being exported, so that as the lockdown is eased and companies start manufacturing and exporting, they don't find a port that is completely congested with goods that were there before. So that is being amended. And then we come to the issue of funerals. Those regulations are still the same. You need a death certificate or a copy of a death certificate, and you go to the magistrate's court or to the police station to get permission to travel to another province. And of course, those who bury quickly, who may not have sufficient time to wait for the death certificate before they start their journey, we allow them to use affidavits, to go and do an affidavit to say they are going to a funeral, and then they will go to the funeral. And when you go to the funeral, of course, the funerals are still strictly for 50 people. That has not changed. It's still 50 people that are allowed. And we have also decided to move the issue of staying in hotels. The other area that we are introducing in the regulations is the issue of children. You will recall that we've been talking about that the children that were separated, where there is co-parenting, but the parents no longer live together. Some of the kids, when the lockdown started, they were at one parent's place, and now they need to move to another parent's place. The minister did do directions to that effect, but now we're putting it in the regulations that you have to have either a court order or there should be a family advocate's papers, or if you don't have those, you must at least have a birth certificate that shows the connection between you and the children that you are fetching or moving. So that's another area. The minister is here. She will expand on it, but it's now in the regulations that you are allowed, but these are the conditions that you have to satisfy. And then there are also regulations. There was an issue about the appointment of the judge that will oversee and monitor the work that has to do with the geolocation of people who are positive and their contacts. So that is just being corrected and amended appropriately. Then you'll remember that we had said coal mines that supply power stations must be opened. We are still saying that all the mines that supply Eskom must be fully operational. And of course, because the lockdown is going to be open gradually, we need to make sure that there is fuel for people to move. Because at the moment, the demand for fuel was very low because a lot of people were locked down at home. They were not moving. So the refineries have now got to ramp up and work at full capacity to make sure that we don't run out of fuel. And smelters and furnaces, and the minister is here, he will explain. But also, those who know about mining, and the minister is here, he knows a lot about mining, He was a miner himself. So we are told that if you leave a mine for a long time, an active mine, but without activity in it, it poses a danger of rock falls and all those things. It increases the chances of seismic activities. So we don't want that to happen, and rock falls and collapse of mines. So we've also agreed that the mines must start operating. They'll start operating at 50%, and then the minister, through directions, will ramp them up to full capacity in an orderly way. But there are strict conditions around how the miners must come back. And those conditions include that there must be screening and testing of the miners that will be coming back to the mines. And the industry must provide quarantine facilities for those miners that might need it. And the mining companies must arrange for transport for the employees. The South African component of the employees, because the external component, those countries have their own lockdowns and all that, so that will be dealt with separately. Here we are just dealing with the local employees. But the minister will also expand on that. We've also, because of the extension of the lockdown, it's clear that we need to make sure that there are warehouses that are open, that supply components for essential services, whether it's water, whether it's electricity, whether it's either essential services and facilities, hospitals, and so on. So those warehouses must be operational to make sure that all those things that need to be repaired, maintained, are done. And also water tanks should be installed that have been supplied by government to areas where there is no water. And also vehicles that are used by people who are in rendering essential services, should they need repairs, emergency repairs, that should be opened for them. And so those professionals who do that will have to be now working. But also for homes, private homes. If you have a burst pipe or something goes wrong with your electricity, you should be able to call a plumber, a professional plumber or electrician to come and sort that out. So we're saying that also is now opened up. And we are also stressing the issue of wholesalers, groceries, spaza shops, informal fruit and vegetable traders, but we are also including those who in small villages in some of our provinces do fishing and they sell the fish. So that is also allowed, but not cooked food. That is not yet opened. And we are also saying that call centers, you remember at the very initial phase, we had international call centers that were opened. Then we had call centers that service the essential services that should be opened. But now we're adding other call centers. For instance, we're adding the call centers that are used by retailers. For instance, when some people, when they have accounts at these shops, at Gas, for Shinis or whatever, they also take insurance that should they lose their jobs or be unable to work and pay their account in the short term, the insurance should kick in. But the insurance can't kick in if you don't then call and restructure your debt or trigger your insurance. So those call centers have become very important, and those are now being opened. And amongst the institutions that must have permission to move around, we've added the Independent Electoral Commission to be able to move around. Of course, now we're using a lot of technology. As you know, people are working at home, people are Zooming, people are using all sorts of technology to communicate, to have meetings. So it's important that the ICT people who are able to repair, to assist, or render services to those essential services that are using technology, they should also be able to work. So those are some of the changes that are in the amendments that are in the regulations. But other than that, the regulations remain the same. But as I said earlier, because we are going to be opening up or easing the lockdown in an orderly, incremental manner, we are going to be probably every week announcing which areas are being open, incrementally, and the conditions of those opening. I don't necessarily want to name them, but there are things that already are affecting people. Winter is coming, and so things that go with that, obviously, will have to be attended to. Schools might be opening, things that go with that, but also industries will have to slowly come on stream. So don't think that, oh, every time now they are changing. No, it's an orderly way of easing the lockdown. We don't know. For now, the lockdown will end on the 3rd of April. But even if it ends on the 30th of April, you can't just open the floodgates in one day. There has to be an orderly way. So expect that almost every week, new things will be coming, new conditions, new areas will be coming on stream. But some will remain in place for a very long time. So kafushane nje ngizothi namhlanje sizokwengeza izinsuku njengoba uPresident asho zokuthi abantu bahlale emakhaya. Imithetho ebikhona isazoqhubeka. Kodwa kukhona nje okumbalwa lana lapha esizokwenza ukuthi ukushintsha. Okwesibili, njengoba mangabe sekuthiwa abantu ababuyele emsebenzini nezimboni aziqala ukusebenza, akuzulungu ukuthi vele kuthiwe nje kubhubhu sekuvulwe yonke into. Kufanele ukuthi kuhambe kancane kancane ukuze kube kuhleleke, sisebenze ngendlela ehlelekile. Ngakho ke sizoloku sivula kancane kancane ezinye izinto ukuze kuthi mase kufikile ilanga lokuthi sekuyavulwa kungabi nje chaos. So kulezo zinto ezinye sizivulayo ozakwethu laba bazozichaza kabanzi, kodwa siyazivula izinto zokuthi abantu abasebenzela uEskom ikakhulu emayini amalahle kufanele asebenze kuzothi mase kuvulwa upetrol uzobudingeka kakhulu. Asifuni ke bese kuthiwa ayi upetrol awusatholakali mase kukhona indawo ezivulwayo abantu sebeqala ukuya emsebenzini. So lezo zindawo ezisebenza ukuthi sibe no petrol kufanele ziqala ukurefine uoyela ziwenza upetrol ukuze sikwazi ukuthi imoto nako konke okudingekayo ukwazi ukusebenza. Nemayini ke lezi kade ezimile ezingasebenzi ukuze abantu bangathi basebenzi bayasebenza kuwamatshe kuwohloka imayini kufanele ukuthi kuqalwe kusebenze. Izoqala isebenze ngo-half bese umphathiswa lo aloke ikhuphula izifike seyisebenza yonke. Siyabona futhi ukuthi njengoba i-lockdown seyiqhubekile isikhathi kukhona izinto ezifuna ukukhandwa. Ke ngithathe nje imoto zamanzi ezihambisa amanzi emphakathini mazifile kufanele zikhandwe, ezithatha udoti kufanele zikhandwe. Amathange lawa ayiswa emphakathini kufanele akhelwe abekwe kahle. So zonke lezo zinto ekufuneka ke manje itolo nama warehouse asebenza ngalezo zinto avulwe ukuze phela imoto zikhandwe yonke into edingekayo yenzeke. Nokuthi njengoba sesivala isikhathi kuyadingeka ukuthi ma emzini wakho kuqhuma ipipe lamanzi noma kunenkinga kagesi ukwazi ukubiza abantu abafanele bazokukhandela. Bese kuthi futhi laba abasebenzayo abenza umsebenzi lo ongavalwa ezibhedlela embonini zokudla kuphi makhona into okufuneka bakhandelwe yona kufanele bakwazi ukukhandelwa. Leyimoto abayisebenzisayo noma ezomsebenzi noma abahamba ngazo beye emsebenzini noma ezidelivayo kufanele ukuthi makufuneka zikhandwe zikwazi ukukhandwa. So lokho ke sekuzovunyelwa. Na basebenza ngama-computer nani makukhona usizo abalidingayo ikhompyutha ifile kufanele ukuthi basizakale ngoba lezi zinto seyisebenza kakhulu manje. Nezingane ezihlukene nabazali bazo, abanye abazali omunye umzali uhlala lapha omunye umzali uhlala lapha, ingane ibinga lapha manje sekufanele ibuye sekuyavunyelwa kodwa kunemgomo kufanele uyilandele ukuze ukwazi ukuthi amaphoyisa akuvumele uhambe uyolanda ingane noma uhambise ingane. Leyo mgomo ke njengokuthi uthola incwadi enkantolo noma yommeli noma ube nesitifiketi esikhombisayo ukuthi wena nalengane nihlangene kanjani, isitifiketi sokuzalwa. Ezemingcwabo azikashintshi. Umngcwabo safuneka abantu abawu-50 bahlale ngokuhlukana, kugezwe izandla, kwenziwa ama-sanitizer. Kubalulekile ukuthi lokho uqhubeke akukashintshi. Nokuthi ke kufuneka uveze isitifiketi noma ikopi yesitifiketi sokushona. Uma kuukuthi uyilabo abasheshe bangcwabe wenze affidavit ukuthi usujahile ngoba umngcwabo mhlawumbe ukhona namhlanje. So kuzoloku ke uvulwa kancane indawo nezindawo nama call center lawa azosiza abantu abafuna ukuthi insurance yabo ibasize noma ukhokha ikweleti noma ukwenzani sekuzovulwa lawo ma-call center ukuze abantu bakwazi ukuwathinta bakwazi ukusebenza ngalezo zinto abafuna ukuzisebenza. Nendaba yejaji leli elifanele libheke ukuthi uma kulandelwa abantu abama-contact belandelwa ngokutholakala ukuthi umuntu lo one-COVID ubela, ama-contact abela, kutholakala nge-geolocation yefoni, lelo jaji elibhekayo ukuthi yonke into ihamba kahle, amalungelo abantu awaphulwa. I-amendment yakhona, isichibiyelo sakhona naso sikhona la. Ngingathi-ke sizolindela ukuthi isonto nesonto kukhona izimboni noma izinto ezizobe zivulwa ukuze ukuvulwa kwale lockdown kube into ehlelekile ehamba ngomthetho. Nizoloku nisibona-ke ominister abahlukehlukene bezochaza ngalezo zinto iviki noviki. Ningacabanga ukuthi hawu kade bela basitshela ukuthi kuvulwa lokhu manje futhi sebeza nokunye. Cha, uhlelo kuzoba ne-schedule yokuthi kuvulwa kanjani, so lokhu siyimemeza leyo schedule. Izinto ezihambisana nokuthi inkampani zikwazi ukuvula, but nezinto ezihambisana nezidingo zabantu nazo kufanele siyibhekelele, njengoba kade ngisho nje ubusika sebuyangena, so izidingo zizohluka. Ehlobo sinezidingo ezihlukene, ebusika sinezidingo ezihlukile. So zonke lezo zinto zizobhekelelwa ukuze i-lockdown ivuleleke kahle ngobunono, hayi ngobudlabha. Siyabonga kakhulu. Oza kwethu bazosala-ke mina khona la kusafanele ngiphuthume khona, baphendule yonke imibuzo yenu eninayo. Ngiyabonga.